Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to this video. Today we're going to just chat about a tool, a new tool. I want to thank ScrapbookCom for sending me this brand new Sizzix scoring board and trimmer. And today we're just going to chat about it. Let's get started. We're going to basically just kind of unbox this sweet brand new board and trimmer. One of the mainstays of any crafter, paper crafter, scrapbookers, studio, craft room, dining room corner, right? We must have a way to trim the papers, score the papers, and this does a whole lot more, which we're going to talk about today. This is a beautiful trimmer. It's heavy duty. It's not lightweight. It's solid is what I really want to say when I describe it that way. So we're going to take a minute here and talk about all the moving parts. When you first open this up, you have, and you take the trimmer out, you have a table here for measurements for the envelope. It's an envelope maker along with other things as well. And then you have on this side in centimeters. Inside the box is a QR code to take you to a Sizzix page that shares several different videos and just some little different options that this tool can provide for you. Okay, so of course this is a trimmer, right? I mean, the basics of this is that it is a trimmer. And so you can easily lift, there's a little handle here, which I love. Sometimes I'm like fiddling around trying to get the lift of the cutter. It has a little place here that I can just grab easily. Then you have along here your measurements. So we're just going to come in here to about 4.5 just for the sake of cutting this. It's super smooth. It's just super, honestly, it just has a real smooth glide to it. And this is the cutter. And it just, that little small part pops out and you replace that piece. It's super small, which I love that too. I'm all about, can we not throw all the things away? So that is kind of a nice feature. Now, when you have the ruler up here, you are in cutting mode. You can pull up here on this knob and this swings, this ruler swings, and now you are in score mode. So already attached to the trimmer, which seriously is a bonus that this is already in the trimmer, because how many times are we losing our tools? So I love that. So I can come up here and I can come to the 3-inch grid mark and I can now score this at 3 inches. So I have a 3-inch guide here. So that's kind of fun. But here's another really fun little bonus part. We're going to learn how to do an envelope on here today. So this again pops up like this. Actually, nope, I'm getting ahead of myself. Pops up, it moves over, and then you can move this at an angle for your envelope. Okay, let's try this out for making an envelope. There's a handy dandy envelope matrix table. This is pretty cool because what you can do is say we want to create an envelope for this 3x4 size card. So you just line the size card, whatever that might be, could be anything, right? And then up here in this corner, it tells us that we need to trim a piece of paper 5 by 7/8, and I already know it's supposed to be square because I looked at the instructions. So this is your measurement for how to cut it square. And then the next measurement underneath it is 7 3/8. That's where you align it up on when it is in envelope mode. So let's trim our piece of pattern paper, like it said, 5 7/8. So I'm going to line this up to 5 7/8. And trim that, and we'll flip it so I can get this to 5 7/8, just like that. Okay, so now we want to change the board to be in envelope mode. So we lift up our hub here, and I'm going to pull this all the way down for now. I'm going to lift it up again and move it over because it shows me on here, it shows me an arrow and an envelope. Then I'm going to lift this up again and move my arrow on my ruler board to 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle now has us in envelope mode. And my matrix told me to line up to 7 3/8. So I'm going to come down here to 7 3/8. And then I already have a notch in my ruler right here that says score. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to score straight down. So now when I flip this, kind of hard for you to see on this pattern paper, but there is a score line there. What I do now is I align my score line to this alignment notch. But I go back up here to score, and I just repeat that. So I just flip it around, switch this, or align this to align, score, flip it to the right, align it to the align mark, and score. So you may or may not be able to see I have 4 score lines. The other part of this board includes what you would call the relief punch. So we're going to come in here, and I can see on here I have 2 lines on this punch. I'm going to line up my scores to those 2 lines and punch. And now I have that little divot so that I can easily fold my score lines in a moment. And again, we're going to go all the way around on this 4 times because we have 4 sides. And once we're done with this, one more to do. Now these can come out if you'd like them to. I like them that they're just sitting there, and I always know where they are. You know how important that is in this craft room. So now we can just take our score lines and fold, and you can use your handy dandy. Actually, no, I skipped a part. I do this a lot. Let's just come back here, because right here is where we can slide this in and corner around each of those corners. Just slides in. Again, that could come out. Doesn't have to. Again, I love it being right there, right where I need it to be. So this is a fun feature for sure. Okay, now back to the scoring, and just rotate around till you get all your folds creased nicely using your bone folder. And I won't add the adhesion right now, but what I do want to show you is grab our piece of 3x4 cardstock and show you that fits right in there. Isn't that fun? I love the matrix. This matrix is really cool. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is make a tag, because not only do we love envelopes on this channel, we love tags. I'm going to trim this to about 3.5. It's just always kind of a great generic width for a tag. And leaving this hub here on this right corner, I'm going to lift it and go again to 45 degrees. And then I'm going to take my pre-trimmed piece of paper, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to come about to the 3-inch mark. That's just my preference, but what you really want to make sure is you pay attention to is this ending mark here, 9 inches. Okay, so I'm going to trim this side, then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to line my edge up to 9 inches again, just like that. Okay, and then flipping this around, my whole punch over here, remember I told you you could take it out and have it at the ready, or you could keep it in place. There's little arrows marking exactly where this fits perfectly in here. Just pop this up against your edge, pop that in, and you've got your hole, and you have a tag. How super easy was that? I for one cannot just freehand trim a corner of a tag. It's an impossible feat for me, so I love this idea. Okay, next we're going to make a box. We're going to make a cute little box, like 2x2. And so for our box bottom, there is rather a size chart in the instruction booklet for the Sizzix trimmer and scoreboard. So I'm going to trim my box 6 by 6 inches. This paper is already 6 inches one way, so I just need to make this 6 inches this way. At this point, I need to go into scoreboard mode. So once I'm in scoreboard mode, I'm going to flip this over. And based on the instructions I've been given, I am going to want to score at the 2-inch mark all the way around. So line that up, 2 inches, flip that, find our 2 inches, and make sure that is a good score there. That's better. And then 2 inches. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fold out my scores Sort of kind of just to make sure that I can see them well. Maybe you can see them better too, how we got 4 scores here. So what we need to do now is to create some flaps. So I can go ahead and make my lid, but we're going to finish with the box. So we are going to come in here at 2 inches, because that's where my score should be, right? And we're just going to create this flap to there. And on this other side as well. Okay, so we have these flaps right here. Look how cutie that's going to be. And we're going to do the same thing here as well. Actually, what you can do too is you can see where your score is. You can see where your line is. That is kind of like the score gusset, if you will. And we can just go to 2 inches. Whoops. Fling that around there. And getting caught on the score channels there. Line that up again. And then just come down to 2 inches. So then you're going to have a box just like this. And then we'll add adhesive. And you got this cute little box. So you can imagine for the lid, it's not going to be too different on how we go about actually getting to our lid part. So I'm trimming this 4 16ths by 4 16ths, little, huh? And then for this one, we're scoring at the 1 inch all the way around. 1 inch, 1 inch. 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay, and again, I'm going to come in here and just make it a little easier to see. And we just need to make flaps, right? So we can go back in here on our trimmer and make those flaps. Or just, you know, come in here with a pair of scissors. Now you have and can see your fold. Just go ahead and go trim that out. But it's just nice to have the measurements for sure for being able to make such a cute little box top, and then be able just to score it right in the same place too, and it all working together. Isn't that gonna be pretty? Okay, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add adhesive to this now. Okay, I've got those flaps all adhered, and oh, this is like the world's cutest little box. Oh my gosh, look how sweet that is. I mean, come on. It's a cute box. All right, we got one more thing to share today. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the banner, because this little creative hub can create banners too. And this is how we're going to do it. You're going to come in here and trim your paper, your material, to whatever height of the banner that you wish to have. I'm going to go tiny again because, you know, we just did a tiny box, so we got to do a tiny little banner too. Of course, we can go smaller. I mean, you can go 1 inch, right? So now we're going to take our ruler and move it to 30 degrees. Again, there's an arrow up here, and it just notches right into that 30 degrees. Then we're going to take our substrate, our paper, and take this top corner here. I'll move this into our screen a little better. And so this is going to be right in, kind of pointing into that gusset part of our trimmer. So you're going to flip it over, and we're going to move this other corner now into the trimmer channel, and we're going to cut. Ta-da! Cute little banner. Okay, and then, of course, we need to punch a hole in it. So I'm just going to pop this right up here and do the same thing here. And that's just one little part of our banner. Isn't that adorable? So, friends, that is the brand new Sizzix trimmer and scoreboard. It's actually a scoring board and trimmer. You know, you got the idea though, right? Beautiful tool. A little hub of creativity, lots of things. I mean, you can just create a little party right here, right? So I want to share that with you. And if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any comments, if you have it, I'd love to hear from you in our comments today. And I will also link all of the supplies used today in the description. I thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video today, I hope you give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to this community, and I will see you in the next video.